The imposing gunpowder tower is located next to the Lovers' Bridge and is an impressive 18 meters tall. This defensive tower was built in 1397. At the beginning of the 15th century, another smaller tower was built on the opposite side of the bridge. Together, these two towers formed the waterport. The Big Tower, as the Gunpowder Tower is sometimes known, stood the test of time and was converted into a gunpowder store, giving it its name, which is still used today. At the foot of the tower is the Gunpowder Tower Park, a hidden, peaceful spot which can be accessed via the metal staircase next to the tower. Minnewater Lake, a romantic hotspot par excellence. Once people believed that water nymphs lived here, and thus the lake acquired its name. Add to that a tragic love story, mysterious trees and an abundance of greenery, and you get a place overflowing with romance. The princely Beguinage 10 Wajnard with its white-colored house fronts and tranquil convent garden was founded in 1245. This little piece of world heritage was once the home of the Beguines, emancipated lay women who nevertheless led a pious and celibate life. Today the Beguinage is inhabited by nuns of the Order of Saint Benedict and several Bruges women who have decided to remain unmarried. Wall Plain. The name of this small cobbled square possibly refers to the first city walls, built nearby in 1127 to 1128. Aside from the selection of lively cafe terraces beneath the trees, Jeff Clairaut also pays tribute to the city's coachman through his sculpture Zeus, Leda, Prometheus and Pegasus visit Bruges. St. John's Hospital is one of the oldest hospitals in Europe, dating back to the mid-12th century. Surprisingly enough, in the middle of the car park there is a small orchard that recalls the gardens that adorned the area until the 19th century. Visitors to the luxurious city palace of the Lords of Gruutus receive a royal welcome. One of the major attractions is the Hall of Honor with its tapestries, impressive fireplace and richly decorated rafters, all witnessing the wealth and affluence of the Lords of Gruutus. Lodewijk van Gruutus was by far the most famous inhabitant of the palace. He was a well-respected man, a member of the Order of the Golden Fleece and a confidant of the Dukes of Burgundy. At the start of the 15th century the Gruutus family built their former storehouse into a luxurious mansion. Lodewijk later added a south wing with a chapel, through which a connection arose with the Church of Our Lady. The Spanish King Philip IV bought the building in 1596 and donated it to the Mount of Piety as a charitable pawnshop. Due to the absence of quay walls, Dijver is the only place in the city where the Raya has preserved its natural appearance. Yet this canal is not called Ray as is the case almost everywhere else, but Dijver, which means holy water in Celtic. It is possibly the oldest place name in the city. Due to the presence of a forest of oak trees which was sacred to the Celts, they most likely considered this spot along the water as a sacred cult site. Welcome to the city's most popular spot for photography, Rosary Quay. Once upon a time, rosaries were sold here. Today it provides one of the city's loveliest views. Summer or winter, morning and evening, sun or rain, the romance of the Rosary Quay always works its magic. Tucked away between the fish market and the Rosary Quay, you'll find the Tanner Square, one of the intimate little squares with which Bruges abounds. And just a stone's throw from the Market Square and Berg Square. In the Middle Ages this was where the tanners worked their leather, but today it's given over to the good life.
The sun's gone to hell.
At first, fish was sold on one of the market's corners, but as the townspeople complained about the stench, the fishmongers were forced to move and sell their wares here. The covered arcade was specially erected in 1821 for the purpose of selling fish. Today you can still buy your fresh saltwater fish here every morning from Tuesday to Saturday.
But it's written in the
The Market Square is the heart of Bruges, but the Berg Square is its soul. For centuries this has been the center of power in the city, and Bruges city administration still occupies the 14th century Gothic town hall. This grand, majestic square is lined with monumental landmark buildings. These were built over the centuries, and reflect the building style of their age. A handy architectural guide assembled in a single square. The beating heart of Bruges has long been dominated by the Belfry, 83 meters high and the city's most prominent building. Dating back to the 13th century, The mighty tower hides a winding spiral staircase of 366 steps. The mathematician and physicist Simon Stevan, after whom the square is named, stands proud on this lively square, which is framed by neat rows of linden trees. He invented the decimal system for fractions and created the mathematical basis for the construction of fortifications. Bruges' oldest parish church has amongst its treasures a rude loft with an organ, medieval tombs, Brussels tapestries and a rich collection of Flemish paintings. Welcome to the largest square in Bruges. Until the early years of the 20th century, this was the site of the railway station. Now the striking concert hall demands your attention, and the open square boasts as many as 150 linden trees. This is also the place where many major events are held. This International Music and Arts Center offers the very best in contemporary dance and classical music. The impressive concert auditorium has 1,289 seats and an intimate chamber music hall of 322 seats famed for their excellent acoustics. When the station moved from Tizont Square to the city's edge, the tracks gave way to King Albert I Park. With water features at either end, this delightful park leads visitors into the elegant center of Bruges.